Hello guys, this is Venkatesh. Hope you are doing well. In this video, we'll try to establish a connection between AWS to on-premises environment using the site-to-site VPN connection. So we don't have the on-premises setup, right? So we'll try to establish the connection from AWS to Azure. We are taking two cloud environments, AWS and Azure. We have already created one AWS server and one Azure server. Now we need to establish a connection between these AWS and Azure servers using the site-to-site VPN. So for that, we have to create a VPG in the AWS and a VNG in the Azure. So once establishing the connection, these two servers has to communicate using the private IPs. Initially, when we create and when we try to ping these two servers, it should won't communicate because with the private IPs, because both are in different clouds and different places, different environments, right? If they communicate, it's a security breach. So let me go to Azure first because VNG will take 20 minutes to create. And one more thing, I have already created this setup. So we already have a VPC subnet server in AWS and same in Azure as well. So I'm navigating to Azure and creating a virtual network gateway. Before creating the virtual gateway, we need to create a subnet gateway. One second, virtual networks, subnet, gateway subnet. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the CIDR should be any. Once the subnet, I mean gateway subnet is created, yeah, we have to create a VNG. So this VNG will take 20 minutes. So that is the reason we are creating the VNG right now. Azure VNG. Okay, I will take generation 2 only. It was asking me to select, yeah, we have to select the virtual network. So you can see, right, it has taken the gateway subnet automatically. If you didn't selected this one and you directly created the network gateway, means it won't select, I mean it won't create, it will fail. Okay, we don't have the public IP, right? So we have to, yeah, create a public IP. Availability zone, it is a zone redundant because we are doing for testing, right? So active setup is also not required for us. So active setup means it will create the things in the two places. It will create the gateway in the two availability zones. So we don't require that setup. We standalone one setup is enough for us. So review and create. So if you can see, the time is 4:47 right now. It will take 20 minutes to create. So if you see the picture here, we have created the VNG. We will create a VPG right now. Yeah, this is the AWS server I have created for testing. Yeah, we have to go to virtual private gateway. Yeah, let me refresh. You can see, right, there is no existing virtual private gateways in AWS. So create virtual private gateway. You can name it as VPG. Yeah, you can receive, you can ignore this one by default. You can create it. Post creating the VPG, we have to attach the VPG to the VPC, and one VPG will be attached to one VPC only. Yeah, 31, 31. Attach to VPC. I have created already. Yeah, attach it to the VPC. You can see this is attaching. Yeah, you can say no. You can see no customer gateways is found. We need to create a customer gateway here. So this is like we are informing AWS. So this is the customer IP. This is where you have to connect. Here we have to give the public IP of the VNG. If you remember, while we are creating the VNG, I will show you one more time. If you remember, we have given Azure PIP. So that is the IP. I mean, once this network gateway is created, we can able to see the public IP. Let's see. We can see public IP from overview page of a virtual network gateway, and if you remember the public IP name, then we can see in public IP address service as well. We have given our public IP name as Azure VNG PIP at the time of VNG creation. So this is the public IP. It is going to attach to the virtual network gateway. Yeah. So you can ignore all the certificates and all by default, and you can proceed with the create customer gateway. Yeah, before doing this, I have to do one more thing. As I have shown you, right? As I told you earlier, this thing should not communicate. I mean, AWS server should not communicate to Azure server. Let me log into the each and every server, and I will show you whether these things are able to communicate or not before establishing this connection. Let me go to EC2. Yeah, just in summary. When we are working on real-time projects, we cannot see public IPs assigned to the servers. But now we need to log in and do our work, right? So I have assigned public IPs to the servers. I have taken the Ubuntu machine. So to recognize easily, I was colored, I mean taken the color orange for this AWS server. Let me create a folder as well. KDR server, AWS server. So now we are taking the private IP of the Azure machine. Yeah, you can see, right? This is the private IP of the Azure machine. Obviously, it won't ping because it's a private IP and the server is trying to communicate from AWS to Azure. So these are both in different environments, different clouds, different places. If it pings, it's a security breach. So what we are trying to do right now is we are trying to establish the connection between these two servers. Okay. Let me log into Azure server as well, and I will try to ping from Azure machine to AWS. after, I mean, post completion of this site to site VPN uh, connections, this both servers should try to ping with the private IPs. So this is the IP of the Azure machine. Let me copy this. Okay. Mm, open. Sorry, I have to log in with the private IP, not public IP. Yeah. Let me change the color of this one. Change settings, colors. It will easy for us to recognize the VM. Azure server. So
If we ping Azure server to AWS server with private IP, it should not work because both are in different clouds and we didn't establish any site-to-site connection yet. We can see both servers are not pinging. Post completion of the site-to-site VPN connection, we can able to ping AWS server to Azure server and Azure to AWS server using the private IP.
okay, we are here. I think, yeah, you can see it is deployment is yet in progress. Yeah, and one more thing I want to tell you, in the customer gateways, right? Yeah, while creating the customer gateways, I have told you, right, we have to give the public IP of the VNG. See, I have created a VNG. So you can see at the time of creating the VNG, we have to give the public IP. I mean, it will ask, we have to give the name of the public IP. See, in this deployment process, the public IP is already created. So that is why I have taken the public IP in the meantime. So some people will get a doubt without, I mean, after creation of the VNG only will get a public IP, right? How do you got that one? So this is how I got that one. Post creation of this VNG, this IP will allocate it to the VNG. Yeah, that's it. So we have created virtual private gateway and assigned to the VPC, and we have created customer gateway, and we have given the VNG's public IP here. After that, we have to site VPN. You can see there is no existing VPN connections. Right now, we have to create a VPN connection. So this is the connection from AWS to Azure. We are using the I mean VPG, I mean virtual private gateway for establishing the connection. If it is a transit gateway, I mean we have different type of gateways: NAT gateway, transit gateway, internet gateway, virtual private gateway. There are I mean so many things like I mean there should be a different type of use cases for using this different type of gateways. So we have to select our virtual private gateway here. We have to select our customer gateway here. So after that, in the routing options, we have to select the static, and we have to give the subnet or VPC cider of the Azure environment. Let's go here. I will go to the VNets. You can see my Azure cider, I mean address space. We can call address space or cider anything. Address space in the AWS static. Yeah. Yeah, after that you can ignore all this by default, and you can create a VPN connection. So after creating the VPN connection, you have to allow the route as well. Let me go to routing table. So this is the route, edit routes. See, if you see the existing route, this is the local route within the AWS environment. We are telling instead of all these IPs, you should go to internet gateway. Right now, we are telling, I mean, we are adding a route like if any traffic come from this particular IP range, it should go to virtual private gateway, and we have to give the private gateway what we have created. So the route is also created. So if you see this particular part, AWS part is already created. So VNG we have created, it was taking some time. Yeah, it will take some time. You can see we have initiated at 4:47. It will take 20 minutes minimum. Yeah, so you can see the VNG is deployed successfully. Yeah, this is was I'm checking the public IP. Yeah. So let me cross check in the customer gateways. Mm, yeah. You can see, right, this is the okay. Before moving to that, we have to create a local network gateways. Local network gateway means in the same as how we created the customer gateway, we have to create a local network gateway in the Azure. Create local network gateway. By selecting the resource group region. Yeah, AWS. So here the IP address should be the tunnel IP. In the tunnels, we can see the site to site. We can see in the tunnel tab, we can see the public IP of this AWS. And here we have to select the VPCs. We have to give the VPC CIDR range. Yeah, this is the VPC CIDR range. Yeah, advanced. Okay, I think we need to change. Yeah, all should be the default one. Yeah, it's create. Once the deployment is completed, yeah, once the deployment is completed, we need to go to the virtual network gateways, and we need to create a connection now. If you see here, when we go to VNGs, yeah, this is also created. Yeah, if you go to, I mean, we have to go to virtual network gateway, and we have to go to connections. In the same way how we create the site-to-site connection in the AWS. Yeah, here we have to, okay, connection type should be site-to-site. The name is Azure to AWS. We can name anything, site-to-site. Settings. Here we have to select our network gateway, and we have to select our customer gateway, I mean like a local network gateway. Here the pre-shared key should be given by AWS. When we go here, we should go to site, and we need to download the configuration file. You can take Cisco ISP series, you can download. Uh, See, this is the configuration for the tunnel one. We are having the two tunnels. If you see the site to site VPN in the AWS, we can see the two tunnels. So we are configuring for the tunnel one right now. If you come down, see, you can see the pre-shared key, right? This is the pre-shared key for the 40 dot, 239.226. Okay, sorry, this is the one. Yeah, 29, sorry, 91.164. Yeah, 91.164. So copy the pre-shared key and go to Azure, give the pre-shared key here. You can remove all this one as default. Tags, review, create. Validation will be done. Once validation is completed, we have to create the connection. So once this connection is completed, we can able to ping from AWS to Azure and Azure to AWS using the private IP. Yeah, and yeah, let it complete. Yeah, let me check the route. Yeah, you can see right from the Azure end, the configuration is completed. From the AWS end, it is not yet, completed. Yeah, let it. So from Azure end, it is able to communicate. Okay, right. Yeah, you can see right, the connection is completed from the AWS end as well. Both IPs, both are able to communicate using the private IPs. So the connection is completed, and in few minutes, we can see the tunnel should be up in the AWS end as well. Let me go and refresh. Now we can see both tunnel status is down, right? Within few minutes, tunnel 1 status should be up. Let me refresh here. Okay, let it come once this deployment is completed. Yeah, it is also completed. So this coming tunnel up and the VNG creations all will take some time. So in meantime, we'll configure the connection for the tunnel 2 as well. Let me go to here, go to local network gateways. Tunnel 1 is completed. You can able to see. So the traffic is coming from the first tunnel right now. So it will take some time to get the up. It will take, I'm not sure exact time. Okay, let it. If you see the connection, this is the connection. Right now, what this on this connection, this traffic is going. You can see still the status is, still the status is unknown only. So the background check, something is happening. Yeah, the connection is right now, it is created, right? So it will take some time. Okay, in meantime, I will create a one more connection for the tunnel 2. Okay, I'm selecting the resource group, Azure to AWS DC. You can select for remembering tunnel to. So this is the IP of the second tunnel, right? 176.159. Let me go to here and get the shared key of the tunnel 2. Yeah, this is the tunnel 2. Yeah, this is the pre-shared key 176.159. Okay, sorry. Here we have to give the AWS CIDR value. So the validation will happen. Yeah, it checks is complete. So we are going to create this one. Yeah, once this thing is created, we'll create a connection in the VNG as well. We will check whether the connection is up or not here. Connections. This is the connection. Yeah, you can see right here it is connected. We'll see in the AWS end as well. Site to site VPNs. Let me refresh the page. Yeah, you can see now, right? The tunnel is up. Right now, I have configured for the tunnel 2. Once this deployment is completed, let me go to the virtual network gateway, come to connections, and click on add for the tunnel 2 connection. So this is the site to site. Name should be Azure AWS tunnel 2. Yeah, here we have to select your VNG. Yeah, here the local network you have to select the tunnel 2 connection. Here you have to give the pre-shared key. So all these things rest you can leave it for default. Let it go through the go through the validation. Yeah, validation is also passed. Yeah, create. Yeah, and basically we are humans, right? We'll get the doubt. How come this connection is happening using this one only? How we have to check like that? See, if you want to check, wait. Yeah, the tunnel 2 connection is happening post. Once this connection is completed, this one also will come up. So let me go to the routes. Wait. You can see, right? Still the ping is happening. So let me go to the route. Mm, you can remove the route directly to the VGW. This route. You can see now whether the ping will happen or not. You can see here 4.00 ms. Looks like, yeah, the ping is stopped for the both of the servers. Let me stop and ping again. You can see, right, both the ping is stopped. So once I configured the route again, I think the what is the VNet? Okay, this is also completed. Not succeeded. Okay, deployment success. Yeah, you have to take this cider. You have to give the you have to route the traffic to VHW. Yeah, VGW or VPG both are same. Yeah, here you can see it is a VGW, right? Yeah, I mentioned here as VPG. Yeah, it's both are same. Yeah, yeah. Once this route is configured, yeah, you can see, right, the ping is started again. It will also start. Yeah, you can see on the both servers the ping is started. Even still, if you have the doubt, come to the VNet, come to the virtual network gateways. Both are connected, right? One second. I will show you this one as well. The site to site VPN. I mean, I just want to show you this one also will come up from the Azure end. You can see all this is completed and we are able to ping in the AWS end. We just want to just see whether it's okay. We'll do one thing. Yeah, you can leave this one. Yeah, to test whether the connection is happening like this. I mean, the same way or not. I was removing the first tunnel. This is, I mean, we have established the site to site connections. You can see, right, this one is completed. Just we are checking this is the way, I mean, where this particular connection, I mean, we just want to prove you this is really happened or not by removing the routes or connections in the Azure like that. Let me refresh. You can see it is deleting. You can see right now, right, both are up. Right now we have deleted first connection, right? So the first tunnel should be come down and the tunnel 2 should only be, I mean, the status should be up. Yeah, connection is deleted. Here also but the ping should happen. The traffic is going in the tunnel 2. Time of migration or any large amount of data transfer, or you want to keep your daily on-premises backup in S3, we can use two tunnels. Basically it's for redundancy. Yeah, it will come. Yeah, this is the way, I mean, this is how we have to do. And there are few limitations, I mean, few things also we have to check. The first thing should be the both the AWS and Azure CIDRs should not be same. If they are same, the communication won't be happen. We cannot do anything. Someone, whether the AWS or Azure, anyone should change. And one more thing, we can attach only one VPG to one VPC. So if we have two CIDRs, I mean, sorry, two VPCs in the AWS, then you have to create a one more VPG. That is the one thing. And also you can see we have given the, where is this? Customer gateway. So, okay, let it be. You can see in the customer gateway site to site VPN, one second. In the static routes, we have given the customer entire, I mean, address space, Azure entire address space. So it is having access to all of the servers inside the Azure environment. So sometimes if we are having that database servers like that, at the time, if we want to give particular, I mean, access to particular server or particular subnets, then we have to give only particular subnet range here or server range here. And that is the, these are the three things. Yeah, you can see these are the three things. And we need, I mean, more patience for the Azure thing, because I noticed that Azure resource creations are taking more time. Yeah, those are the things. Source and destinations, okay, same here. Okay, if you want to know traffic, yeah, yeah, these are the things I want to let you know. And yeah, regarding this VPG, right? I have told you. See, if you are having two VPGs, and at that time you have I mean, if you are having two VPC, at the time you are receiving the same request to connect to your data center or Azure, you can create two VPG, and for these two VPG you can establish a peering. It is okay for fine for this particular scenario. Imagine if you are having nearly some 5 or 10 VPCs at that time. It was like it's a hectic. I mean, you have to create a VPC. I mean, peering establishment to every VPC, and you have to create a VPG for every VPC, and you have to attach all these things. So at that scenario, we can use the transit gateway. See, for if you are having the smaller environment, for one VPC is there, you want to connect to the Azure, then it is fine. But if you are having the big environment like a 5 to, I mean, some 10 to 15 VPCs are there, so at that time, if you create a transit gateway, we can use this same gateway for the peering and for the site to site VPN as well. And in future, if you got any request like you want to connect to the Google Cloud, I mean, for some purpose, if you want to connect, if you want to establish a connection to the Google Cloud, you can use the same transit gateway to connect to the Google Cloud as well. In real time, when we are working in any company, we'll receive a request to configure connection between data center to your cloud, whether it is a AWS, Azure, or GCP. At that time, we have to ask data center team what is the gateway public IP, and we need to ask IP of a subnet or server from where they want to access. Once we got the information, we'll create virtual private gateway, customer gateway, site-to-site VPN, and we have to add route in the routing table accordingly. Finally, we have to, I mean, once all these creations are completed, we have to share configuration file of site to site VPN to the data center team or their network team. On data center end, they will take care. Here we have to configure in both clouds because I need to show whether the traffic is going through site to site connection VPN or not. Next video, I will try to make a video on the transit gateways as well. I have shown you, right? If we are having a multiple VPCs and we are having a multiple data centers as well, transit gateway will come into the picture. So next, come to the decommission process. Decommission is very simple in the Azure. I will show you. If we go and delete the resource group, yeah, if we go and delete the resource group, it will delete entire things. Wait, enter the resource group name. Yeah, it is initiated in the AWS. Let me terminate the server first. You can see right till the ping is happening. We can terminate the server first. After that, let me come to site VPN. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah. My next video. Hope you like the video, so do like, share, and subscribe my channel. While practicing, if you get any error, watch the video again and try to troubleshoot from your end, and you can comment down below. We'll try to answer that. And if you want to know how to create a VPC subnet server for initial setup to get start with AWS, you can comment down. We'll make a video on that as well. So once this is detached, we can delete the VPC. If we try to delete now also, it will delete, I mean, it won't delete. Okay, okay, looks like the, okay, yeah, this is detached. Yeah, you can see, right? So that's why it was deleting. You can delete the virtual private gateway. And sometimes in the Azure, I think the public IP won't get deleted, which we created for the VNG. Yeah, you can delete it. It is, I think it is a chargeable one. In Azure, it will take some time to delete. You can see in AWS all resources deleted. So that's it for the session. Thank you for watching the video. Like, share, comment and subscribe my channel.